Hi guys, my name is Aqil, and you know how crisis is something that occurs at random and it occurs on a daily basis, it seems. It doesn't only occur in Malaysia, but crisis also occur everywhere in the world. So, moving on from that, I would like to talk about a crisis which recently occurred in France. Me, the word France alone, which will definitely give you an idea of what crisis I'm talking about. So recently, a major fire erupted and have engulfed the entire Notre-Dame Cathedral. This unfortunate event resulted in the destruction of the monument's spire and most of the cathedral's roof in Paris. This monumental building happens to be one of France's biggest and most iconic landmarks, which houses thousands of visitors on a daily basis. The century-old place of worship was already blazing on Monday, on the 16th of April 2019. News immediately spread out through social media as people had already started sharing photographs featuring the violent orange fire and smoke gushing from the spire of the cathedral. It was not long after when the entire church was almost consumed by the fire completely. Tens and thousands of Parisians were weeping as they see vast orange flames soaring from the roof like a stove top. It was a dark day to the people in Paris as they watch such incident that threatens one of the greatest architectural commodities in the world. The cathedral houses craftsmanship, which were a century old, and witnessing such antiques burn down was such a painful experience, and I'm pretty sure the whole world was so shocked by this, and the whole world cried when this crisis occurred. So the cause of the building burning down is not yet clear, even though a thorough investigation was conducted. So the prosecutor suggested that the actual cause of the incident was probably linked to restoration work that was still in progress. The century-old building was already in desperate need of repairs and restoration, and therefore, this was a plausible explanation to the fire engulfing the entire cathedral in France. The Minister of Culture, Frank Reister, has informed the media that any paintings that were found damaged by the fire will be promptly recovered upon verifying the incident site for safety. Once recovered, it will immediately be sent to the Louvre Museum, where these paintings will be placed and restored. And Reister also stated that the cathedral's rose stained glass windows were seen to be still be intact, although the fire was like going crazy in there, but the glasses windows were still intact, which is really good. So however, they were still skeptical on the condition of the stained windows, which held centuries worth of history. The entire cathedral was evacuated immediately as fire started gushing from the spire. Police officers and the authorities were working around the clock to ensure the safety of civilians around the entire Ile de la Cité, an island where Notre-Dame is located. So no lives were harmed as they were very efficient in the whole process of evacuating. Unfortunately, in this event of search and rescue, one of the firefighters was reported to be severely injured. The cathedral was already aging and artifacts were starting to reach their tear age. In fact, the well-known gargoyles were replaced with new piping as they were deteriorating. Statues were then removed as the 6.8 million restoration and renovation project commenced. This was an effort to save the building from disintegrating as the area was covered in scaffolding when the incident happened. According to Forbes, big names from the French business organizations and companies have already donated a combined of 600 million euros, about 680 million US dollars, to rebuild the Notre-Dame. And these people includes the family behind L'Oreal and the luxury brand LVMH. So following up to the issues, a large fundraiser was initiated in effort to restore the memorial landmark, which is one of Paris's most iconic and mesmerizing tourist spots. So this news wasn't taken lightly as there was reaction from all over the world as they were in shock when the news spread about how the Notre-Dame Cathedral was nearly disintegrated in fire. Majority of the public were heavily involved with the incident as they quickly went on multiple social media platforms to see news regarding the situation of the monumental building being burned, and many were worried about the condition and were eager in receiving updates through both traditional and online media. So not only the whole world was shocked by the crisis, but many politicians took advantage of this issue to express their extreme political views and followed by unnecessary comments made by them. But many of them, on the other hand, handled this crisis calmly and collectively and managed to gain support and respect by many. Hundreds and thousands of the French locals were horrified by the scenes. that was present in front of them, and many were in tears as they watched the spire burning down into flames. It was a painful experience to see their valued heritage crumble down to ashes in front of their own eyes. And this is something that is very sad, and it happened and very random. The whole country itself was. Emmanuel Macron, President of France, went to the scene promptly to reassure the public through a speech at the scene. He vowed to rebuild the cathedral at all costs as it is one of France's biggest landmarks. So to ensure this takes place, he also initiated an international fundraising event to raise funds for the reconstruction of Notre-Dame. So among the generous philanthropists who contributed to this cause of action includes the chairman and CEO of Kering, Francois-Henri Pinault. Many were outraged following US President Donald Trump's tweets on the incident. He tweeted, quotation, "So horrible to watch the massive fire at Notre-Dame Cathedral in Paris. Perhaps flying water tankers could be used to put it out. Must act quickly." End quote. It is something that is absurd, to be honest, in my own opinion. And I'm so glad that the France's security civil who were in charge of the civil defense and crisis management responded to Trump's tweet, quoted, "All means are being used except for water-bombing aircraft, which, if used, could lead to the collapse of the entire structure of the cathedral." End of quote. So this response was professionally delivered, stating the consequence of using such a method of fire extinguishing, as suggested by Mr. Donald Trump. This tweet has indirectly proven the efficiency of crisis communication on France's behalf as compared to Donald Trump's immature tweet, which lacked proper crisis management strategy. And this incident following up to his tweet also proves that the team behind France's crisis communication were well equipped with military skills, as they were quick to prepare respective procedures in times of crisis. And we can use Macron's crisis communication strategy as an example of a good crisis management, as he only gave a few statements which promised the public to restore Notre-Dame within 5 years. His statement on the issue alone managed to reassure the public on the state of reconstruction, and this alone implies the vital power France exerts. They were all well equipped with efficient strategic preparation for communication management in times of crisis. So in a nutshell, it can be concluded that the Notre-Dame incident has received worldwide coverage due to its significance to France's architectural history. So the public did not take the incident lightly, as they were estranged by the orange flames gushing from the spire like an active volcano. However, France managed the PR with such professionalism that the world praised their crisis communication and managerial skills. So despite facing radical comments from important world leaders such as Donald Trump, France maintained their composure and replied proficiently while being respectful. They have manifested the qualities of a good PR practitioner and managed to get support towards rebuilding the face of the cathedral. Overall, the French authorities were highly skilled in managing the crisis and maintaining peace among the civilians. And this incident has proven their PR capabilities and managerial skills. So that is all that I have to say today, and I hope that I've managed to cover everything that occurred during the Notre-Dame fire. And thank you so much to Ms. Marzura for giving me this opportunity to talk about a crisis. And yeah, that's all I have for today, guys.